Max is going to blow the horn for us.
Well, it's gonna, wife gets mad at me when I do this when there's girls around.
I think your wife wasn't with you if you're doing that fast.
She wasn't, yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. I've seen those before. Yeah, a lot of
100 liters. So there's 100 liters on that. There's 100 gallons. So I put 1,350.
Some of them are stainless
steel.
Originally
the hydraulics were road to rail. Yes.
Looks like an aircraft.
I'm Shauna, and this is Brian. Welcome to our channel, Life Uninterrupted.
In 2018, we sold our home, auctioned off most of our belongings, and bought a motorhome, which we affectionately refer to as Frida.
We travel full-time with our two French bulldogs, Lucy and Ricky.
Join us on our adventures by subscribing and hitting the bell icon so that you're notified when our videos release each week. And one of the cool things we get to do living this full-time RV lifestyle, besides traveling to all kinds of cool areas around the world, well, not the world, well in this case the world because we're in Mexico. Traveling across the US, we get to come to RV parks that have sometimes some really cool RVs, and sometimes the cool RVs aren't the really new, fancy, expensive RVs. Sometimes they're really neat vintage RVs. In this case, here in the park, I found a really neat bus conversion, and I stopped by the folks that own the bus conversion, that did the bus conversion, and they're going to allow me to do a video on their converted bus. So you can kind of see a little bit of it in the background here, right there. We're going to talk with Max and Linda. They're a couple of Canadians that come to Mexico on a regular basis, and yeah, they offered to let me do a tour of their converted bus.
Yeah, it's a 1947 white. Found it in winter here in California about 25 years ago. It was a storage shed for 13 years. Had the old flathead 6 in it. So it took me about a month. I was coming out of Mexico to rewire it, get it going. The big old bias tires. I burnt out a compressor in Yuma trying to fill the tires up. And then I said if it made it back to British Columbia, Canada, where I live, I'd give it a new life. She's pretty thick.
How many mils is that, do you think?
It's probably 1/8 of an inch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, they built like a tank in 1947.
So I see this super white power. Is that an emblem for the original engine that was in there?
That's original, yeah.
Gotcha,
yeah.
Okay.
And Greyhound started in 1929 with whites. This is a white. And they ran this body style up to about 1950. So we went to Hibbing, Minnesota, and there was 2 or 3 of these same buses in the museum. And there was more people outside looking at ours because we were driving it.
Right, for sure.
So it was kind of funny.
I see you have stabilizers.
Yeah. Got hydraulic jacks front and back. One big one in the back. I hardly use it. It's got all the the chrome wheel covers on it.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me those. Buddy that owned this truck salvage yard in Las Vegas, Leon.
Nice. Max, that's a huge exhaust pipe. Is that something stock or is that
no.
custom?
It's straight. I custom. Yeah, it's straight. It's a stack off a big truck, and it's a straight exhaust. There's no real muffler in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice and loud, in other words.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On the back end, there's a lift for a quad. Bunch of bars on it to stabilize it on the highway because the highway gets pretty rough.
Sure does.
And that keeps the bouncing off the cylinders.
Gotcha. And how much can this tow?
The bus weighs 8,000 pounds. I towed my little Chevy Tracker and the Polaris on the back, so I don't know what the actual weight is, but
gotcha.
It doesn't slow it down.
No, I bet not.
No.
All custom designed for you too, or was this something that was already on?
I built all this.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing. Originally the hydraulics were road to rail, so they take a service truck and put it on the railway tracks and lift it up. And go down the tracks to do service, eh?
I've seen that.
Yeah,
right.
So I figured if it could lift a service truck full of tools, it'll lift my quad.
There you go.
I just figured out the geometry and it actually works good.
Sure.
So I can let it right down level almost, and then drive the quad off and back up again.
Very cool.
Well, there's not much to this side. I mean, there's 2 storage compartments. I got a Honda 2000 in that one, in the little one.
And the all-important e-bikes also, which are an RVer's friend, right?
Oh yeah, the electric. We love them. We ride them every day.
So I imagine the awning was an addition. That wasn't original to the bus.
Yeah, I had that put on and the little one there, and I didn't put the one on the other side. Like I say, I didn't have time to get all this done before he left.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The weather changed where I live, so I kind of had to quit working on it.
Very cool.
So it's, yeah, the 5.9 Cummins motor in there, the 12 valve with no electronics. And heat and fuller 9-speed behind it with the air shift.
How about that?
Left the original dash, took out the big gauge, made a donut, put this diesel gauge in. Got the air gauge installed for the diesel on this side, and that was the original dash for the gas.
Looks like an aircraft cockpit with all kinds of gauges and switches. And
my seat swings right around, and her seat swings over there and plugs in this hole in the floor. There's a wheel on her seat, and she rides right beside me.
Oh, no kidding, that's cool.
The arm behind you there where I mounted it to the frame in the bus. And it rolls out, you know, you just pull on it, it rolls over.
Oh, check that out. That's really cool.
Yeah, just pin it in there.
This whole thing just pivots this way and pins right in.
Little tire on the back there.
Oh, that's cool.
I've done the whole thing, like the motor change, the wiring. I had to wire this to code in British Columbia, Canada. So if something happens, like if you get a fire, it's covered because I got the British Columbia Hydro to inspect it and give me the ticket. Seal, the certificate, eh?
Right.
And I had to put 13 breakers in it.
Oh, wow.
Even a ground fault in the bedroom in case you spill a drink on the rug and you touch a lamp.
Right.
Yeah, so it's got, you know, arc faults, ground faults. I mean, it's wired.
Very cool.
I saved my mother's headboard and, you know, started, I'm not a carpenter, but I started making the cupboards, and
Sure.
this is part of her headboard here, and same with this little table for Linda.
Oh, as you're traveling down the road, you have a little place to...
Part of my mom's headboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I kept it for years. And then it has, you know, it clips on the cupboard like that.
Very
Just
nice.
give it a push.
The all-important liquor
Lock
cabinet.
them in, yeah. Sliders there. Like I say, I'm not a carpenter, but I...
No, hey, it serves the purpose,
And
right?
then to get her to code, I had to build that. I don't know if you can see it. That's all for the 12 volt.
Right.
I had to build all that to get the code, and then you'll put the inverter in, the converter. So she's all wired. So right through the bus, there's 2A switches.
Okay.
So I can turn a light on there, shut it off here, go in the bedroom, and keep going right to the headboard.
Very smart. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got a bunch of stuff out in the bedroom. The bathroom's finished.
That's
but,
fine. No worries.
Yeah, we're just
That's fine. Don't worry.
put a fridge in, and then as we went on, the wife would always give me shit for taking food out and putting beer in there. So I put my own beer fridge in.
There you go.
Yeah, and then, you know, the trade-off was when I put the beer fridge in, I gave her a central vac with the dustpan. So she's got that, and they gave me another storage compartment outside.
Very cool.
And this I made for the garbage can.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well,
Swing
there's
it
not
up.
much wasted space, is there?
No. The drawers are all on those European sliders. You can't slam them.
Right. Nice soft clothes.
And when I first put them in, we went around a corner and all the drawers came out. So I had to put these in, the little locks. So rather than putting an RV stove in, which I don't really like, she does a lot of baking. So I found an old brown. And this is what we put in. It'll take a 25-pound turkey. Got a big broiler in the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah, slide that out. Broiler, pork chops, whatever, while you're going down the highway.
Well, that's vintage too, because you don't see
Oh
those.
yeah, no, it's old. It's an old gas stove, but I mean it works perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. And is this a gas and
electric?
Gas and electric.
Gas electric.
Very cool.
I leave it on 365 days a year.
Do you?
Yeah, I've had RVs before, and if you shut it off and leave it sit through the winter or whatever, the lines seem to get moisture in them or on them, and then they get little pinholes, and you got to change the whole back unit.
Gotcha.
So I've left this on now. This fridge here is probably, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 years old. It hasn't been shut off since the day I put it in.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it's a testament to, what is
Well,
that?
it's
That's
just
a Norcold, right? Yeah. Norcolds are pretty good.
It's just a little pilot light. I mean,
Sure.
you know, I got 100 liters of propane under it. So I, mean, I just let it sit on propane. I don't even put it on electric when I get home.
100 liters. That's a big
100
tank.
liters. Yeah, I took it out of an old taxi and then
wow.
converted it from liquid propane to vapor.
Ah,
I
okay.
had to change the valve in there with a long stem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole orifice has to be changed.
100
yeah.
liters. So there's 100 liters on that. There's 100 gallons of water under the bed. There's 45 on the black water, 35 on the gray. So we can sit a long time.
So did you find that having to modify, the structure to fit all of those tanks problematic, or was it fairly straightforward?
Yeah, you know, we build brackets and everything to get everything in here, and yeah. But I mean, that's all I did all my life was just make honey out of dog shit. So
Yeah.
I've been a welder for 45 years. So under the floor here, where it raises up, put great big drawers in for the heavy stuff.
Very nice.
2 big drawers, and I didn't want to have those wheel wells in where you step up on one side into the washroom,
Right.
and then up into the other side.
So you just raise the floor up over the top of all that?
Yeah, it's 9 1/4 inches of storage right through through the bathroom, all around the bed. There's little compartments, and under the bed it goes right down to the original floor. So I think it's got 32 inches of storage, the width of a bed. Yeah, and the bed's on, you know, cylinders. It just goes up, eh?
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So a lot of work, a lot of time, but it's got a gas lantern too. So you got
check that out.
3 ways to light it. You got gas, electric. You know, the big lights are the 12 volts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. And the windows were all sourced from the standard RV windows, or did you have to have it custom built?
I took all the windows out and I raised the roof 15 1/4 in the front, 2'4" in the back, and then I put these windows in, RV windows.
Right.
But I resheeted the bus right from the bottom of those windows, completely right over the roof, everything. So I put 1,350 screws in the side of it.
Wow.
And I think there's 900 and something rivets in the roof.
Holy cow.
And I know every one of them.
Is it aluminum or stainless?
Steel.
All
satin coat steel.
Okay.
Same as it used to have.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Nice and
drill
heavy.
them all, you know, and put the rivets in, and oh yeah.
Nice and heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Robust, as we say.
If you roll her over, she's gonna stay together.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. She'll probably roll down the hill like a log, eh, and then stop, and we'd be okay.
True.
She won't collapse. I know that.
Yeah, this is like a roll cage. The whole design of the frame. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, built as a bus. I mean, they're pretty robust, anyways.
Left the original handle for coming in and out.
Right here.
Yeah. That there, that's the original.
Yeah,
and then I just added these out here and outside for going in and out.
Right. Very cool. Yeah, I can't get over this dash. This is
1947.
I'm a pilot, so this is very much like some of the old. The oldest plane I've ever flown was a 1947 Cessna, and the cockpit dash looked very similar to that.
And unfortunately, I'm the kind of guy, I don't like putting wires in a harness, because if you have a problem, it burns up all the wires.
This is true.
So I left all my wires open.
Gotcha.
So if one burns up, it won't burn the one beside it.
I hear you.
And then I can trace it back and just change the wire. It looks like a mess, but I'll tell you, it's the best thing to do, the easiest way to stop problems.
Exactly.
And I've soldered every connection in this bus.
Oh, really?
They're not crimped, they're soldered.
Oh, wow.
And then on the 12 volt, the negative or positive, I mean, I've heat shrunk them all.
Nice.
So pretty much bulletproof.
Very cool. And it's a cool Eaton Fuller shifter.
Yeah, 9-speed.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Grind some gears on that, won't you?
No, she shifts really nice. Well, you just get the right RPM. I hardly use the clutch.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Just use the clutch for taking off at a traffic light, and after that you're on the RPM.
I hear you.
Get her up to the right RPM and just keep shifting her.
Yeah. And all the windshield glass, everything's all original.
Yeah. Well, no, I raised the windshield, so I had to put.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I raised it 5 1/4 inches.
Oh, okay.
From this curve right here, it used to go straight across, like kind of that way.
Wow, that was small.
Yeah. So and I couldn't see the traffic lights. So I was always bending my neck, so I raised the windshield up here.
Oh,
it was quite a challenge. I had to use I used like 5/8 plywood, and pretended that was the windshield, then filled in all these pieces and raised it up, because the glass doesn't bend.
No, it doesn't.
No, so I had to put
usually breaks first, right?
I had to put a step on the outside of the bus. You'll see that where the windshield goes up into the body.
And this is a typical RV door.
Yeah.
Whereas the old door would have been like a folding mechanism where they had
sort of a bounder.
Okay.
And you see where I had to step up the windshield in here?
Right. Oh, okay.
I put that little curve in there to go across. The glass don't bend, and I had to go back into the bus with the glass to get it in there.
Gotcha.
But then I put marine electric wipers on it. It had original air wipers. They still work, but I took them off.
Okay.
So now I'm on marine wipers. And it's got heated mirrors. For living in Canada, I mean, you get frost on them all the time. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got it's like, well, how many AC units on top? Just one or two?
Just the one.
Just one?
Just the one.
Cools
that little
cools
it
it fine?
Freeze you out of here.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I originally raised the bus, it was a big hollow empty can. I got a guy to come and spray the whole inside with foam. Spray foam the whole inside, so it actually stays cool if you got the awnings out and leave the windows open. But when you turn the air on, it actually freezes you out of there.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we can take a look at your engine?
Yeah, I could open it this side
You
here.
want to open that thing up for us? I'm sure some of the guys.
Pretty in here.
Well, it's an engine. Some of the guys will get a kick out of it, I think.
The 5.9, I mean, it's reliable. This is where I run my turbo air from that bumper in.
Okay.
So I made that, and the air just comes from the turbo down into that bumper, all the way around and then back into the engine at an ambient air temperature.
So that's a straight 6. Is that what that is?
Straight 6.
Yeah.
So I had to shove it under the firewall to get it in there.
Ah.
And inside here, I don't know if you can see that, but from the air compressor to the end of the steering box, I think I've got a ½ an inch. So I did a lot of measuring to get this motor in this bus.
Yeah, measure twice and cut once,
Yeah,
right?
I bought an old Thomas bus because the brakes had failed on it, a school bus. It had the 5.9 Cummins in the back of it. And it was a 91, and they wouldn't use it anymore because the brakes were no good. So anyway, I bought that, but I did a lot of measuring to make sure I could get it in there. And at an auction, I picked the whole bus up for, I just drove over a curb. Picked the whole bus up for $3,000.
You see all kinds of things in Mexico, don't you?
$3,000, so it was a good deal.
How many horses in this thing?
This is only 190 horse.
109, but a lot of torque though, I'll bet, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's 300, I don't forget what it is now. It's lots, I'd have to look in the book, but I've never found a hill I can't go up.
What's your typical cruising speed?
Well, if I'm running between 1800 and 2000, we're doing 70 miles an hour in 9th gear.
No kidding.
Because of the big tires and the 9-speed.
Gotcha.
And a 355 rear end. It's a Freightliner rear end.
So the all-important question: what's your miles per gallon, or
Well,
liters per gallon, liters per mile,
well,
whatever?
From what I can figure, we're running actually 14, 15.
No
and
kidding.
Most people won't believe that, but it's doing 17, 1800 going down the highway.
Sure.
We're idling.
That's just purring along. Yeah, very nice.
You get this thing up to 22, 2400. I mean, she's flying.
How about that?
I've had it, I think going across from Tucson once, heading over to Yuma. My buddy was behind me in a van, and he backed off at 80 miles an hour, and I think I just about peaked 100. So she'll cruise.
How'd your wife feel about that?
She wasn't with me.
I would say, sounds like your wife wasn't with you if you're doing that fast.
She wasn't, yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, a couple of big batteries under there, and then the house batteries are in the other compartment. They're the 6-volt deep cell.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what about this bumper? This doesn't look original.
No, I made that out of exhaust pipe.
Okay.
So that's where the air for the turbo goes in.
It's all powder coated?
No, I used gravel guard on it.
Oh, okay.
Gravel guard and then painted it.
Ah, very
so
cool.
That's the turbo air going in and out of it.
Got you right through here.
Yeah, a lot of guys figure it's water from the radiator, but it's turbo air.
So how does the air enter this then?
From here, from the air cleaner through the turbo, in this pipe. This is sealed off twice in here, so it doesn't fail.
Gotcha.
So it has to go all the way around the bumper and then back into the engine.
So are there advantages to that sort of?
Oh yeah, it keeps instead of coming right from the hot exhaust turbo right into the engine. This goes all the way around.
Has a chance to keep stay cooler.
Plus it builds up a storage of air in here. So when I hit a hill, I've got this thing's full of pressured air.
Oh wow!
I open up that gate valve, you know, she starts going.
How about that?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's funny if you're doing, like I say, you know, say 60 miles an hour, you hit a hill. Sometimes I got a downshift. If I happen to be up around 65, I got to let off the gas pedal at the top of the hill. It's just in a power band in it. It just seems to want to go at a higher speed.
How about that?
Yeah, it's the gear ratio. Truckers get on the CB and they say, you know, what do you got in that thing? Like I go flying by them, eh?
So original lights, original headlights?
Yeah, original headlights. This isn't an original grill. This is a 1947 truck grill. It ended here. I finally found the bar for my grill, which is the same here and has the white emblem. And it curves down underneath here. That's why this is curved like that.
Gotcha.
So the old white grill goes right to the bottom, and then this bar is down here. It's hanging on my wall in the shop, so I'm going to put it on this summer. Look at the springs under it. It's just insane.
I'll get a shot of that.
I think there's 15 springs or something on the front. Oh, there's a stack there.
Pack. Oh,
and what I do before I leave, you know, to start traveling, like now, I'll spray all these springs with diesel.
Okay.
And then they slide nice, and it rides like a Cadillac.
Oh, nice.
But if you let it sit and let all the springs rust, I mean, she's a rough ride until you knock all the rust off it. It was interesting to lift because it's on an angle. I don't know if you noticed that. I usually scratch my head on lifting this one. So it's wider at the top and narrower down here.
Oh, yeah.
So what I did is I left that window and that piece of metal there, and I lifted the whole back end, the two corners, and I added the 2'4" in here, down to the bottom.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the bathroom is the bathroom on this side, and
bathroom's in the middle, and
in the middle,
full bedroom in the back. Walk down each side.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's got shower.
Oh yeah, it's got a
everything,
demand hot water heater in it.
Okay.
So you got 100 gallons of water, you got 100 gallons of hot water.
Nice.
And you know, the toilet and big shower. A big shower with the glass doors that open in the corner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's comfortable.
Max is gonna blow the horn for us.
Well, it's got a big air horn, and then it's got this little horn on here.
Oh, so I see. Yeah, the air horn's up there is one
Yeah.
thing, but then he's got a little horn down here. He's got.
My wife gets mad at me when I do this when there's girls around.
So let's listen to this thing. Right there. Ah. Yeah. And air horns are original and all that. Did you add those?
No, the air horns aren't original. The original one, for some reason, was the tube had broken off it. It was a big, long one. But my buddy in Las Vegas gave me these two.
Did they used to maybe have Hadleys, or do you know them? Was it just a brand that was?
Right, I was about to year around and a great big long horn sticking out of it.
Sounds like maybe it was a Hadley.
Maybe,
Hadleys,
yeah.
Those are pretty loud. I ended up putting an air horn on my coach too, and makes a big difference when you want people to get out of the way.
Oh, they hear these two for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we got cut off one too many times. And that little horn that was in it, I'm like, no, I got to put an air horn in mine.
Somebody, you know, I mean, people take pictures of this. They're trying to drive by us, take a picture while they're driving. They got their hand out the window with the camera, trying to shoot a picture from behind. And then they pull over to see if they got it. And then they'll go by us at 100 miles an hour, and then pull over on the side of the road and get out there and try and get a picture. And I'll tell you, it's scary. I mean, you always got people making you slam your brakes on. You can't stop this thing on a dime.
Well, Max, I want to thank you. I'm gonna switch positions here.
And thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to thank you for giving us a tour of your awesome labor of love. Looks like you put a lot of heart and soul into it, and pride. That's the coolest thing.
First time on the internet, so thank you very much.
Yeah. So I just finished up the tour of that cool 1947 bus conversion. 1947, I think it would be antique at least, right? Anyway, really cool bus conversion. So check out what I found. So Max and Linda are over here, and just behind them is this vintage RV. Check this out. I think it's a GMC. I don't see any badging on it, but I do think it's a GMC. You know, and I've seen these before. We stayed at a Boondockers welcome location in Texas, and the gentleman used to buy these. He had two of them that he purchased from Budweiser, and they were very similar to this, except he gutted them. As I understand it, Max said this is all original inside, but the ones that this gentleman was converting in Texas, he would gut the entire thing, install all custom interiors. He would take the entire dash out and make the dash, design the dash similar to a Tesla. So it had autopilot and everything. Pretty cool. Anyway, it's always nice to see these old vintage coaches still out and about and still operating. But I believe this is a GMC. Anyway, that is gonna wrap it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I do really enjoy doing these kinds of videos, just to kind of see, you know, what people do out there with the RVs that they find. And in this particular one that Max has, Max and Linda, the coach that they have, you know, certainly a labor of love and a lot of pride. So that's gonna do it. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Hit the like, thumbs up, hit the bell so that you're notified when we release a video. See you next time.